Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Same Bet. You know, one of our viewers, Keith Saunders, asked if I would do a review of my table. And to be honest guys, there's just nothing special about this table. I am not a carpenter, I am not skilled, and it's just pieced together over time. But what is kind of interesting is that journey over time. From when I started on a $10 Amazon felt with some canceled dice to the table that I have today, it's kind of an interesting view. At least it's interesting to me. So I'm going to post this video. It's just a few minutes long. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. I'll be glad to tell or share anything about my experience with you. And I'm also going to post some links to some people who have actually built their tables and done much better videos on how to build it than I could do. So I hope you enjoy it. It's just a few minutes long. Leave me some comments and let's roll the film. All right, so my journey to build a table began in the kitchen with this $10 felt that I bought off of Amazon. I used it to more for betting strategies than throwing the dice, but I wanted to get better at that. So I saw this video by Koga Ninja talking about using a cardboard box, and that worked out okay for a little while. Here's my canceled dice that I started using. You can see how beat up it actually is. And then a few chips that I got from a local casino that I was able to start practicing some betting strategies with. But it wasn't too long before I decided that we had to move this thing to the basement. I needed a little bit bigger table, and you can see I've got this 8-foot long fold-out table that I'm using as my base, along with birch plywood, at least birch plywood at the ends. I think I've got some other plywood there in the middle. I've stapled the felt down to it, and you can see it's not very wide. It's not wide enough to be regulation width. But so I decided I'm going to need an even bigger table than that. Sticking with that birch plywood and adding some underlayments, I also bought a microfiber layout. And it's the layout that I'm using today. The current layout is 10 feet long, and you can see here that I didn't have it pulled tight. I'm definitely learning some things along the way. I also believed that I needed some new accessories. For the longest time I used a back scratcher for my dice stick to help retrieve the dice. But I moved on. I bought some chips from Target. We've got a dice boat and a puck and all that good stuff. And about that time is when I decided I want to get a little bit more serious about this. So I bought some casino quality dice, things that hadn't been canceled. And then I started a journey to try to figure out what do I want to use as an underlayment. Here you're going to see a couple of different options that I considered. Flannel on top of vinyl. That is one of them that I actually use today. And then closed cell foam on top of vinyl. This probably isn't truly closed cell foam. I don't think it is, but you can see it is actually bouncier than just flannel. Now it comes to the table that we have today. You can see my legs. I'm using a couple of sawhorses for my legs. I've added some walls all the way around, cut out notches to help make it easier to do some bedding, and I would say that my rails are still the thing that I need to improve. They're not the same width as what you would see at a real casino. I don't have the racks up on top where I can put some of my chips. But yeah, it's a journey, and my journey is not yet complete. I also, we're going to pan back around to the other side here, and you can see this looks like a pool noodle, but what it really is the foam used for poker tables that I bought off of some website that just sort of slides over the makeshift rail that I put up there. Now it works okay. It's better than not having anything there, but it's still not the greatest. You also can see here the curve of the table. I don't have anything backing the green rubber. I didn't feel like I really needed to. And now I'm kind of moving on to a couple of the things that I use for making these videos, the cameras and tripods. And that's my latest addition, is the overhead frame that I can do straight down shots. And then I use my iPad for the long shots. All right, so there you have it. That's my table as it is today. It was definitely a journey from the days that I started with that $10 felt to the table that you see before us. Now, a few stats about this particular table. The current iteration is 10 feet long, and it's 29 inches from the floor to the top of the deck where the dice actually hit the deck. And it's another 11 inches above and beyond that for the rail, which happens to be the same height as the green rubber pyramids. And then it's a 1/4 inch plank that I have on top of it to simulate the chip rail. Now, one thing I want to leave with is I often get asked the question, should I buy a table or build a table? And there's no right or wrong answer to that. But in hindsight, I wish I'd have bought a table. I think it would have saved me a lot of heartache and hassle and trips to Lowe's and Home Depot. But the reality is, I didn't know that when I started this, and it just pieced it together over the last couple of years. I would also say that I've got some of my family involved in helping me build this table, so we've had some good bonding experiences over that. It simulates real world close enough for me that I don't think I'm going to invest any time real soon in a table, but it is on my bucket list. It is a piece of furniture in my basement that I would like to have something that looks a little bit better than what I've got today. All right, guys, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, let's keep rolling those dice.